Okay, Ammon, here's a little tutorial for you. We're doing just a little bit of a variation on what we did with the PhotoText. So I'll show you how to do it. What's going to happen here is we've got Photopea here. This is the best one to do it in. We're going to open up a new picture. So go find a picture, download it to your desktop. Make sure it's big. Here's one I've downloaded already. It's called Alaska. I'm going to blow that up. And we are going to use get us a text going here again, like our other photo text one we did. So I'm going to click in here. And this is pretty wide stuff. That's what I want. I'm going to type Alaska. Okay. And it's about 250 pixels, you can see. I'm just going to take this and move this down here. So as you know, and as we did last time, we can make this, let's make it just a little bit bigger. We'll go 275, see if we can squeeze that out. $150, 275, just make sure it's working here. There we go. Then I'm going to move this to the center. Just barely fits. Well, and I'm going to turn my layers back on here. Now, as you know, before we did this, we took it up here and we went to layer and we went to clipping mask and it clipped it in, right? So we're going to do something just a little bit different today. So we're going to undo that. Here's our text. Here is our background. What we're going to do is we're going to go hold down the Option key and we're going to pull background up here. And we're going to make a copy of the background. We're not just going to move it because we want this one left here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the background. We're going to click on background copy. We're going to go up and we're going to add this clipping mask. And we've got ourselves Alaska. Now, that's what we did last time. Then we cut it down and we made it smaller. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this Alaska and put it on itself. We're going to make a poster with it. Now, when we turn the background on, there it is. And we've got this clipping into this text, but we can't see anything. And the reason is it's exactly like our picture. And so it just disappears when we turn the background on. So to fix that, this is what we do. We choose Alaska, we go down here to effects, and a couple good ones is to add some bevel and embossing. And so what we can do here is we can turn the opacity right up. We can turn this opacity right up. The depth here, you can see, we can change it and we can add more to it. So we're going to turn that, crank it right to 100. And then we can actually change. I don't like to change the size too much. I kind of like it when it's smaller. And you can soften it, but we don't want to soften it. We want to turn that right off. So now we've got ourselves this Alaska that's embossed. And because we did that, it now pops off the page a little bit. But we still have some problems around here where it's really dark. We can take this and drag it around now anywhere we want, which is the cool thing. So we can put it right up in the sky on the mountains or down in the flowers. We'll put it up. We'll put this one up in the skies. Now there's a couple other things you can do. We can go back to effects and we can go to drop shadow and we can add a drop shadow and look what it did there. And we can mess around with some of this. I've changed this. Usually the opacity is down. I've changed this to be fairly no opacity at all. The spread, you can change the spread a little bit about how far it's spread. You don't really see a whole lot of difference there. The distance, though, you can see what happens. You can stretch this out. You can bring it back in. And you have a little spread. You don't want a ton. And then the size of it, it kind of blurs it out, which sometimes looks kind of cool because it kind of just breaks it apart from the background there and makes it look a little more distinct. So I don't mind doing that. That looks pretty good like that. And it makes it stand out a little bit more. And now again, I can choose Alaska and I can move this around, move it down here. But I think it looks best. It kind of pops out a little bit better right up here where it says Alaska. And you can mess around with all the different effects here. You can go back to drop shadow. You can maybe change the spread a little. And you could add an inner glow, inner shadow. A stroke is often used a lot. It just kind of pops it out. You can choose any color you want. A good way to choose a color, or watch this, I want it to match my picture. So I could go in and I could, as soon as I have this color picker out here, I can go click on anything in there and it's going to choose this color to put it around Alaska. And so everything blends properly. It doesn't look really weird, although I don't know if I like the flowers that much. I could do a green around there, or I could do the ice around it. That might look kind of cool. And so when I choose that, there I've got Alaska with a stroke, some beveling, and a drop shadow. So that's what we're doing. You're going to need 3 posters. I want you to do 3 posters, and you can do it on anything you want. Just kind of make it like a travel poster or something like that and hand it in. You'll see the Google Classroom assignment. I'm going to send it out in just a couple minutes and you'll see it and it'll all be good. So if you've got any questions, give me a shout. There you can see right here what we're doing. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to work with. All right, see you later.